In this video, we're going to look at VPN settings, enabling a VPN through Windows, mapping drives, looking at the default browser in Visual Studio, the built-in browser, and then pushing files to the server and viewing them using the URL that you would need to view them from the server. So within Visual Studio, I'm going to go ahead and open up the assignment 2 file, the earliest file that we have here. And in that particular video, we did the example of right-clicking on the file name, the .aspx, and viewing in the browser. And you'll see that it says Google Chrome there. And when I do that, it'll launch and be visible there. Now within your IDE, up here, most likely you've got a drop down for selecting your default browser. My preference is Google Chrome. There is also a built-in browser that would load right here, just like index.asp is. It would be its own tab. I'm pretty sure that's Internet Explorer and cannot be changed as far as I know. I could be wrong, but if it could be changed, I would expect it to be able to be changed here in Tools Options under Web Browser, and then be able to change there. But because it's built into Visual Studio, which is a Microsoft product, I'd imagine it's not able to be changed. So we don't use that one very often. What I would say is, if you're seeing that, you might have Internet Explorer selected here. Change it to Chrome or Firefox or something different. And then when you come over here and right click, it should say View in Browser, Google Chrome, and then launch it in that separate browser window. So we've covered the drop down there, View in Browser, the built-in browser to Visual Studio. The next thing, here in just a second, we're going to look at is enabling your VPN through Windows environment. So I'm going to come to my network settings here, and I've created a VPN here. For me, it's as simple as coming here. I've already created this, and I'll just hit connect. It'll say connecting, and then I've gotten connected here. Now for you, if you do not have the Windows VPN set up, you'd start, I believe, by going to network settings there. So again, I selected this, and then there's a link here for network settings, and it brought us to this area. Then come to VPN, and then add a VPN connection, and it will bring you to this page. I'm going to hit cancel there, and instead what I'm going to do is come to the Purdue VPN I've created. I'll go to my advanced options. I'll go to edit. So this is the name I gave it. You can call it whatever you want. Mine's Purdue VPN. This server has to be exactly as typed here. That is an L as in Larry, l2tp.purdue.edu. This VPN type needs to be what is shown here, l2tp/ipsec with pre-shared key. The pre-shared key, I'm almost positive, is Purdue VPN. And let me bring up Notepad. Like that. A capital P in Purdue and a capital VPN. You'll choose username and password, and then this is your career account login and password. So it's not the class account I gave you, it's your career account. So whatever Purdue University gave you, your login and password. Check, remember my sign-in info, and hit save. Once you have all of that and you've saved your VPN, then all you'll have to do is come here, and you'll see your VPN here available. You'll select it, hit connect, and it usually doesn't take very long at all. Now we are connected, and the next thing you need to do is connect your drives. So for me, it's just double clicking on this icon, and I have actually done this earlier so that we don't have to wait on this. My file happens to be mapping 13 drives, so we don't want to wait on that. In terms of creating that file, we would open Notepad. We'd come to our assignment 1 from the weekly layout. So within assignment 1, there are these 2 lines of code. And again, this is from a Windows environment, and there are instructions for Mac users there. You'll paste these 2 lines of code. This can be any drive letter you want. What you need to do is go to your file server and see what is used. If they're not all shown there, then expand this and see the C drive is obviously used, and look and see what's available for you to use. So can I use B? Do I need to change it to Q? Whatever, but it's V:, there's a space here. You leave this IP address as is. It is 241 that you are using in this class. Your folder name is going to be what was given to you in class. So if you haven't been given that yet, then you'll have to be patient until you receive it. So it will be something like CGT 456 web number letter. And then I will also give you an associated password that goes with it. And then your login will be the same as your folder name. Like that. Once you have that, you'll do a file save as. You'll want to save it to your desktop as well as to your H drive. And this is not a .txt file. This is a batch file that we will call connectdrives.bat. The BAT is for bat. And I'm just going to put a number there because I already have one called that. You hit save, close that, and then here's my new file that I created. It should have a couple of gears on it, and then all I would do is double click on it, just like this is my actual one. It will pop up like this. It'll connect your drive and it'll disappear. You come to your file explorer. You look at all of your drives that you might have, and then you look for the drive that you just mapped. So again, I should have said with the VPN, you should know this, but I'm off campus, so I need to enable my VPN. I'm actually at home, so I'm not on the Purdue network. So I enable my VPN, and what that does is make a virtual private network. And if I were to check my IP address right now, it's going to be a Purdue University. It's going to be a Purdue University IP address. 128.210 is Purdue University. I'm not near Purdue University right now, but the VPN is making it look like I'm on Purdue campus. So I have enabled my VPN. I've connected my drives. The next thing is what we looked at in Visual Studio was just saving this to the desktop, and this assignment 2 is actually saved right here to my desktop. But at some point you've got to upload it to the web server. So I have mapped my folder. So here are all of your folders. So you would choose yours, and then you would choose your Lab 2 folder, and then you would save your file there. For me, mine's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to create oops, it's not where I wanted to create it. May as well mess up on video. Go in here, in here, and I've already got an assign 02 folder set up. So this is my web server. You can see by the IP address there. This is my desktop. You can see here. So all I want to do is drag and drop those onto the web server. It'll ask me if I want to replace the files. So it'll replace those files as it pushes it up to the web server. And then the next part is navigating to those files. So it'll be CGT Web 1 is the server that you're on, .tech.purdue.edu/456. And then for you, it's going to be /CGT456WEB, and then your number letter combination /labo2/index.aspx. And that would get you there. For me, mine's going to be a little bit different. So I'll go ahead and navigate to that. And then I changed mine from labo2 to assign2. And again, you don't want to change your folder names because of what was talked about in class. But the folders on the web server have to be enabled to run as applications, and that's something that has to be done on the web server. So here it's loaded in the browser. So now any changes you make, as you make changes and you do a Control-Shift-B, it builds, it's successful. You come back here, you grab the files that you want to push up. I grab my 2 ASPX files. I push them up to the web server. They copy up. We come back. I'm looking at the web server here, web1.tech.purdue.edu, and I just refresh this page, and my changes should reflect when it comes up here. So, and then you'll just repeat that process for looking at it within the web server. So you can look at it, you can view it in the browser from your desktop, and you can also push it up to the web server and then view it in the browser. And that last part is important because that's where we will grade from. So once you have pushed it up to the web server, test it, make sure it works like it's supposed to, because that's what we're going to be grading. So that finishes this short video and looking at some of the things that are common that'll help you out, hopefully, going through this class.